Cheers, everybody. Welcome to another poll type video, which I do now and again. Now, this one, I've got to give a big shout out to one of my subscribers, Steve Allen, who came up with the idea for this one. He said to me in a comment, he said, why don't you do a video of what is everybody's favourite macro beer? And I thought, yeah, light bulb goes off in my head. Why not? So cheers, Steve, for putting that thought in my head. So macro, what is the proper terminology of macro beer before we start? So I googled it. We mention macro a lot as beer reviewers. We mention it, oh, that's a bit macro. That tastes a bit like macro. That looks a bit like macro. But what does macro mean, really? So I googled it. So the description of macro beer is large scale commercially produced beer containing inferior ingredients, so not very good ingredients, or ingredients which type of kind of like enhance the way that is produced. So if you can get a certain ingredient to help the brewing process to produce more beer at a lower cost, you will. That's what macro means to me anyway. Compromising on ingredients to produce more. So I put this question out there. I've got some comments. And yeah, how far do we go in macro? Do we go to bottle shops or do we stick to the supermarkets? For me, my personal opinion is macro should, we stick to the supermarket boundary for this type of answer to this question. So I'll read through the comments. So the first comment we got was from the Hopper Reviews. Fantastic channel, brilliant channel. Go and subscribe to him. Really fun stuff on his channel. Love watching what he does. Well, it seems as though I made a video shooting cans of Carling. Since then, he's done it with Coors as well. And I have Coors Light and Stella up soon too. I'm sorry to say my favourite macro beer is probably a cider. Thatcher's Haze, he says. Honestly struggled to think of a beer for this poll, mate. Hopper Out IPA. Little plug for his own beer. Does that count? Depends, mate, if you got it brewed at Marston's. Yeah, fair enough. Bullman's Beer Reviews. Hello, mate. How you doing, mate? Great channel. Again, go and subscribe to him. Star of Parman. Asahi ain't bad either. Tennis is always good when in Scotland. Star of Parman. Good shout. That is a good beer. That is a good, solid macro beer. Yeah, and know where you're coming from with that. Claire Thomason says enjoys beer. Cheers, Claire. Hope you do too. Now, O'Valian, he says, I'll pick Pilsner Urquell, Guinness West Indies Porter, Paulaner, Oktoberfest beers. All brilliant beers. Good shout. Cheers for that, mate. Not sure whether they class as macro, but they are big. My choices will be Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and Pilsner Urquell, says Lee, 73. Cheers for that, Lee. The Wheat Ale guy says Guinness Foreign Extra Stout, US import brewed in Ireland, followed closely by Pilsner Urquell. Getting a pattern here, aren't we? Christopher at Al Desert Station says, I like very much Nigerian Guinness Foreign Extra Stout, Teskey, because it's only Polish beer in most of supermarkets. Perlo is better. Yeah, don't Perlo add sweeteners to some of their beers, Christoph. And German Pilsner's available. Cheers for that, mate. Paul Davis, so not sure if it comes on the macro, but would choose Superbock. That's a surprising one. Lovely on a hot day. So, yeah, I think what we've had is people have got a little bit muddled up with the description of macro, the terminology of macro in brewing. For me, like I say, I think macro it's down to, I think there is kind of like borders regarding macro beer. I think for me, I term macro beer as a macro beer anything widely available in a supermarket, irrespective of style, which is available all year round, all the time. For me, um, nothing that's. I don't think macro. I don't see macro as beer available in bottle shops at all, or bespoke independent breweries. We're talking big commercial breweries. So there is beers that people have commented on for me that I do term as macro. I have got a favourite macro beer. I noticed Guinness has popped up in the comments quite often because obviously Guinness have got the clout, um, and the techniques to produce macro. Of course, they are macro in a way. So, my favourite personal macro beer is Pilsner Urquell. Available all year round. Don't have any trouble getting hold of it. Great tasting beer. Followed closely by Star Parman. Again, widely available. So yeah, interesting one for sure. Thank you everybody for commenting. Yeah, macro beers. I hate the term macro. For me, I would love to live in a world where every beer you pick up is from a bespoke small brewery brewing it with good, honest hops and ingredients. But you don't get that with macro, do you? So, thanks again, Steve Allen, for giving me the idea, putting this up. Thank you, everybody, for commenting on this one. For me, I will put up another question maybe today or tomorrow. I won't do a video on it for a good couple of weeks. Yeah, what is everyone's favourite macro beer? For me, looking at the comments, I think everybody likes Pilsner Urquell too. So cheers, everyone. See you on my next one. Be big.